One of the things that I love to study about and read about and work on myself is habits and the concept of creating great habits in your life that'll lead to success. One of the best books I've read in years is the book Atomic Habits by James Clear. And I'm also a follower of his. I get his newsletter each week. And by the way, if you're interested in getting that, let me know. Email me, Scott at slamdunksuccess.com. I'll forward you his newsletter because it's outstanding. It's a short one too. He does three short ideas from himself, two ideas from others, and then a thought-provoking concept at the end of it. So it's really short, but so good. The last I saw the book, it's down in Georgia at my son's apartment, sitting on his desk. I let him borrow it at the start of the school year, and I don't know if it's been opened down there, but it's at least sitting on his desk. But it's a great one. And I also I read on Kindle this year a book by Derek Depker, a guy I actually follow in the author world, in the writing world. But he's done his share of things on a variety of concepts too, and one of them was on habits. And he got me thinking. Both those guys got me thinking. There's this concept of triggers and setting yourself up for success by making sure that you do certain things each day, right? That's the concept of habits and building a habit into your life. But one of the ways to help you with that is to have triggers. Things that as that happens, it triggers this next thing. And so you start having these micro habits or these mini triggers that when you do this, it'll lead to this. When you do that, it'll lead to this. And you're trying to set yourself up for success through these triggers. So the classic one is I will put my workout clothes out at night. Right, for the in maybe sitting on the bathroom's sink, counter, whatever, so that the next day when I get up, they're there for me to put on, and that'll trigger the habit that I'm trying to increase, which is working out, to get the result I want, lose weight or whatever result you're after, right? So that's a trigger. I got to thinking about this for us as coaches with our kids. And I'm going to start doing this more. I've taught my players this occasionally. I need to figure out a habit for me to stay on this better and to be better at triggering me each day to remind them of this, because they're 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, whatever age you coach at, years old, right? They're not always going to remember these things either. But here's the trigger thing. Here's the habit trigger that I came up with in my mind for my sport. Figure out what would be best in your sport. So I coach basketball. So often, what do kids do? Any of you who are basketball coaches, you're going to know where I'm going with this. What do they do when they come out of the locker room? They go grab a ball and immediately go to the three-point line and start hoisting up shots. Now, I've taught my players through the years that's a terrible habit to be in. The best thing to do is get closer to the basket, start close, work your way out, build the muscle memory. And I teach them, go here and do this up close, do this, working on the form for the shot, right? So I teach them these things. So I'm trying to create good habits. But I realized I have to take that back even further and make it even simpler. Right? And so one of the best coaches I've ever gotten to work with, John Williard, he was the one who started it, so that's why I bring him up. And then we used to do this with our kids. We'd have them come out of the locker room, grab a ball, go put the ball down at the half line, go to the baseline, and start to take a 1-2 step, pick up, and there's no ball in their hand. They're stepping toward the ball. And again, 1-2, boom, 1-2, boom. Or if they were hop shooters, those of your basketball coaches will know the difference between it. Do their hop, boom. Well, okay, so they're working on their form. Then they get to the ball and they take one dribble, boom, or self-toss, catch. And now they're doing this with the ball out in front of them until they get to the other baseline. Once they got to the other baseline, then they could go start their shooting. Now, this is where we hoped they would go and get close to the basket and work their way out. So we taught them that as a habit to get into, to create the form, probably can't see, the form that we want them to have, right? That's something I want to continue to do. But I want to take it back even further, because all we're working on there is the thing that they want to work on the most, or just not even work on, just do the most, shoot, which is an important skill. I want them to. But what about their ball handling? What about the thing that they do not put nearly enough time into, that they need as much as, if not more than anything else? Yes, they need to be able to shoot, but a lot of them will never be on the floor if they can't in some way handle the ball. And so I'm going to, with my team this year, I want to create this habit. The moment they come out of that locker room, go get a ball and go do some stationary ball handling. And not even just go do some stationary ball handling. No, I'm going to tell them, do 10-pound dribbles. It's kind of hard for you to see, but they're going to do their 10-pound dribbles with their right hand. That's the first trigger, to then go to 10-pound dribbles with their left hand. That then the trigger is to then do 10 crossover dribbles. Then the trigger is, and I give them simple things to be able to do, each one being a trigger for the next one. Once I've done the 10 here, I do the 10 here. Once I've done the 10 here, I do the 10 here. And just to get them handling the ball before ever doing anything else. I don't want to make it so complicated they've got to remember 15, 20 things. But if I give them those three, how much better will they be at ball handling over the course of a month or two? Okay, they need more than just that, absolutely. But if every single day they did that, they're going to be better than if every single day they don't do that. I might add a fourth, I might add a fifth. Or I might say, after you get done with the crossovers, here's a couple things as choices for you to try. Because they all struggle going through their legs. I'm coaching middle school kids. Well, try that. Or under your butt, or whatever. I will have them do that. And then I might say, once you're done with the stationary, here's your trigger. Do, up and down the court, what is zigzag? I'm not sure if I will go that far. But I will also go to, now, once you're done with your ball handling, go up to the basket and start the thing that we talked about before and work your way out. Something that will be concrete, will be specific and easy for them to do, that will then trigger the next thing and the next thing. So figure out in your sport, figure out in your world, it doesn't have to be just sports, what are the triggers you need in your life, and what are the triggers you can teach your kids, both your athletes, your students, and your own children, to help them be better at the things they need to be better at. Because the sooner you learn the power of habits, and then the power of getting triggers into our lives to create those habits, the sooner the success rate starts to skyrocket. So try that. Try that yourself and try that with your kids and see what happens. I think you're going to like the results. We'll talk to you again next time.